what I have learned is change our mindset, change our views, and develop the Kaizen mindset within ourselves.
Today, I'm really excited to welcome MD Hasan to the show. Now, MD recently completed our Black Belt certification, which allowed me to get to know him quite well. Now, as you'll hear, MD is extremely passionate about continuous improvement, and I think it's safe to say MD is pretty passionate about life in general. Now, on today's show, MD and I talk about his diverse work experience that started in Bangladesh and eventually led him all the way across the world to Michigan. We also talk about his Black Belt project, which involved a heavy dose of SMED, or quick changeover as it's sometimes called. The show notes for this episode, which will include links to everything MD and I discuss, can be found over at Gembapodcast.com. Just look for episode 230. You can also check out Gemba Academy's Lean Learning System over at GembaAcademy.com with a fully functional trial. Now, let's get to the show. All right, MD, welcome to the show. How's it going?
No problem. It's going great. Glad to be here, Ron.
Yeah. We're really excited to have you on and super proud of you for finishing your Black Belt. You did a great job. And I think it's something we want to do more often is folks that finish a certification with us. We want to have them come tell their story like you're going to. So, yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ron.
All right. Well, before we, I know you listen to the show, and before we get into you telling us about yourself, let's start with a quote. Do you have a quote that you'd like to share?
Yes, I have a favorite quote from the Winston Churchill. It says like, "Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." So, the message is here. Sometimes we all think, so we are successful in the projects and life, but it's not the final things. We are getting success because we are setting another and going for another big success, better success, you can tell. And the failure is not always fatal as long as you learn from that and have the courage to continue for improvement, right? Yeah. So that's the whole, and I like that quote pretty much.
Yeah. And Jocko Willink says, she goes, so if you fail, he says, are you still breathing? Yes. Yeah. Good. You're alive. You can continue to fight, Yep.
That's what it is, right? So you got to continue to and have that mindset of continuous improvement and fighting back and figure it out why we fail and what are the things we can fix or, improve to make the things going in the right direction. So that's what
Exactly. All right. So, MD, tell everybody about yourself. Tell us about your background, how you first came to learn about all this continuous improvement stuff, and then definitely tell us what you're up to these days.
All right. So basically, my home country is in Bangladesh, which is the other part of the world. You can say the other side of the world. Yeah. But, I always tell people that we're all from the same solar system, right? So we are all from the Earth.
Yeah.
So, and I think myself as a global citizen, and, I came from a very middle class family background back in Bangladesh, born and raised in Dhaka, the capital of Bangladesh. Is around you can say 160 million peoples in a country like Nebraska. So I have grown up in the capital and get my bachelor of mechanical engineering. I get 2 years of experience in a pharmaceutical company there with leading procurement and project management. And then I decided I want to go forward and do some more higher study. So I ended up in the United States in 2014 around. And I do my master's in mechanical engineering. I came to Michigan, and from them it's been going great well. So I did a couple of internship in automotive in a hydraulics company, and in my current role as a process engineer in ALP Lighting Incorporation, which is like a manufacturer of lighting components for all major OEMs, and one of our brand is Lexalite. the role I'm doing here is leading process improvement, lean manufacturing, and a change management. And the core things is I'm trying to drive the operational excellence throughout the organization. So yeah,
Yeah, no, awesome. Okay, so I got a really, really important question.
yep,
I didn't even intend to ask this, but now it just popped in my mind.
yep.
So, what in the heck is this game cricket all about?
Oh, cricket. Do you think like a football in
That-
American football? You play football with hand. So I
yeah.
don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. All
how
right.
that
Fair
works.
enough. Fair enough. Oh, fair enough.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
but I got a lot of questions from my colleagues that what is the heck is this, and what does it mean by cricket? You play like 11 peoples, and there's like stands, and you have a ball, and
Yeah.
people hit the ball with the bat, and it goes along. Like, what is the boundary? What is the
Yeah.
six score, and all that kind of stuff. It's weird, and I
Yeah.
said, you know what, like.
Did you play it growing up?
Yes, I do. Like, in my high school, like oftentimes I play that cricket games. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's
yes.
awesome. I mean, I like watching it. There's some people that get together at some of the parks over here, and I'll stand there and watch them. And man, they really whip that thing in there, man. So-
Yeah, I know. And they're like, especially in South Asian parts, like India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. We have a large amount of fans for cricket. You couldn't believe that people how people are crazy for cricket there. So,
Now the best are the people India, right? It's the best, aren't they? The guys in India?
so I don't remember who is the champion right now,
Yeah.
but I think the last one I remember is India. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good stuff.
Yes.
All right, enough cricket talk, but all right.
Yes.
So obviously you've got a really diverse background, MD. So can you maybe talk about some of the different types of work experiences that you've had over your career?
I worked as a engineers in procurement department and leading like project management and launching a phase of the engineering project management and the procurement of all mechanical machineries and utility systems. The big like boilers,
Yeah.
turbines, all the mixing chambers, all mechanical equipments. So I have the experience there. And when I work as a procurement guy, I used to do a lot of supplier customer relationship, right? I used to have a lot of vendor communications and meetings with different kind of vendors, and my cultural diversity having is having work with the different vendors is very great. Like, when I work with some Chinese vendors, and when I work with Japanese, Indians, Koreans, and on the other side of the coin, like Italy, Spain, Germany, the United States, all these source. And when I communicate with them through a requirement of purchasing, there's been a great experience of how people react, how people understand the problem, and then what are the solutions they can offer. That just boggles my mind, So that's where my cultural experience start from. So
What do you make of us crazy Americans?
uh you guys are awesome. I can tell, based on the needs and the values and the society community. And the other thing is, America has a large opportunity for the technical mindset people, professional peoples, and the continuous improvement of the whole community, right? So we are so diverse. I love the American population, that we're so diverse that there are a lot of opportunities for learning from that diversity and getting these into action for continuous improvement of the community, for the society, for the organizations, right? Because as a whole, we all, as a humankind, right? We're human, so we all want to grow and develop. So I think diversity is helping us to get that ball rolling for the future development and continuous improvement.
Yeah. So you're, I got to know you pretty well, MD, as we talked a lot through your certification, and
Yes.
you're really, really one of the things I enjoyed about working with you and just knowing you is you're very passionate, about continuous improvement. You were always upbeat, even if you had a bad week or something wasn't going well. You were always positive. So I guess my question is, what's your why for continuous improvement? Like, what is it that's driving this passion?
I think when I started learning from different thought process of different cultural background of people I worked throughout my career and internship and educations, I learned a lot of ethnic values. I learned a lot of religious values as well. I know I come to a lot of diverse team working experience, and I do learn a lot of leadership perspective too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So different kind of leadership, different source of mindset. So I learn all from all of different things, and I find out my why is I want to serve the community for a better future. That's my why. Okay, so I want to serve the community for a better future. By community, I means as a global citizen, I want to serve the art community for a better future. This is my whole why. Now, in terms of lean and continuous improvement, how it happens is lean and continuous improvement is giving me the opportunity to create the value for the community by contributing to change for the better. So, you know, the continuous improvement efforts that we are doing in the organization is ultimately helping the community to do better, right? So if you look at that purpose, I found my why is serve the community for a better future. That's going to be my why.
I love it. I love it. Let's talk about, and I want you to brag a little bit because you did a fantastic job about your black belt project. Tell everybody about it.
Oh, you want me to tell everything?
Let's start with how great your coach was, and just
No way. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, that sucks. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. We won't use this as a testimonial, right?
Okay. So the black belt project I do is based on the lean principle, and one of the lean tools so we have is the SMED, single minutes of exchange of dies, and the principles, and we do a project of the SMED and to reduce the changeover times in one of our machines, which is creating a lot of value for the organizations. We want to reduce the changeover time for the machine, and then we go through the DMAIC and PDCA a fluid approach. I wanna call it DMAIC and PDCA blended approach.
Mm-hmm.
So and before I even get to that point, like we wanna really do the projects. I started with something really simple questions to my team, right? So I gather folks from the production floor, quality, and the management side of that, and say, hey, why we need to reduce the changeover time? Can you guys tell me why, right? And then people talking about why we need to do that before even get it started, right? So and then I said, okay, how does it impact the business KPIs? And the performance of that. So then we come up, the changeover times will improve our on-time delivery performance. We changeover times, reducing the changeover time will always improve the efficiency. It will give us more freedom to production leveling, right? And all these kind of whys. And then we find that we need a really business values to go forward with these projects. So and as I said, the whole process is very fluid and blended in my project, and I go through the process. Formally, obviously, I go through the process and steps of data stratification, project selection, measure phase, countermeasure phase, improve phase, analyze phase of all these. But I want to make sure that my team is aligned with the vision. Is why we are doing that.
Now, how sorry to interrupt. Like, how important was it that you did that? Do you think that getting that why, that buy-in? Because a lot of people skip this part. They just jump right in.
Yes, I know. And then I think that's the huge part of that process, because when I dig into that process and I find out the whys, and I share these, and we all dig into that, say, okay, we need to do that. When everybody is aligned, right? I I see the people is creating a movement, and people are going through that process and participating and be more engaged. If I believe that if I didn't do that, that why we're doing that, I wouldn't get that kind of engagement from my team to accomplish the PDCA cycle and the remake cycle of this project. So I would say this is a great, and this is something that every organizations and the lean practitioners ask before even try to deploy or even implement lean throughout the organization. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that why we need lean, right? So why we need? What are the vision? What do we want to achieve with lean?
Yeah.
So this is going to be a fundamental questions I think we should always ask
Yeah.
in our project phase, in our everyday life,
Yeah.
and in our organizational perspective.
Yeah.
So basically, I go through the process of data stratification, project selection. Then we go to the current state analysis of video analysis. We do the team brainstorming of what are the root cause, find the root causes, and develop some countermeasures, implement the countermeasures, and analyze the after changeover videos to find out how much improvement we're getting. So once we get some improvement, we make these as a standard, and then we are going through the second cycle of that project right now to go over again and find out what are the major opportunities we are still having to improve.
Yeah.
So for the first run of the PDCA and the make approach of this project, we were able to reduce 24% of changeover time. And now we are creating standards, that's as a standards, and going from there. So we are still digging into that. I mean, I can tell you like yesterday, I was having that conversation and the team meetings with that projects continue to be going on, and we are going to replicate that ideas of SMED to the other machines, which will create a lot of value for the organizations and on the other plants too. So all these things come into the places, and it originated from the why we are doing it, right?
Yeah.
So.
Well,
Yeah.
what I love about it is, you guys did this pretty quickly as well. You got 24, 30%, whatever it was, improvement pretty fast, which,
Yep.
We satisfied, the requirements, if you will, for the certification, because you followed the process and met your
Yep.
goal. But you didn't stop.
No.
And again, a lot of people unfortunately see this. That's why sometimes these certifications get a bad name. It's because some
Yeah.
people go after them for like one and done and want a line on their resume, whatever. That's cool.
Yeah.
But then they just don't keep going, and it's not like you got your piece of paper, but you didn't care. You just kept going. And that's what I love about you, is that you really do believe in this stuff. And it's not just for a line on your resume.
Yes, I know. And you know what? Like I don't want to even mention that I'm a black belt in my resume. You know what I mean? Because that doesn't make sense to anything for me unless I'm a real world problem solver. So,
Yep.
if I'm a real world problem solver, those certifications and all these things doesn't actually matter if you are solving problem. If you are motivating people to be a problem solver, and that's what you are doing, and that's what you are creating value for.
Yeah.
So
beautiful,
yeah.
beautiful. Hey, so what about some lessons, reflections on the journey? What did you learn?
I think I can share some of the points about my lessons learned from the continuous improvement journey I'm having right now. Is first of all, we have to, if we want to do a great and the sustained way of continuous improvement, the first thing we have to do as a whole, what I have learned is change our mindset, change our views, and develop the Kaizen mindset within ourselves. So if you do develop the Kaizen mindset within yourself first, then you are getting rid of all status quo and egos and find a really, really fresh outlook of things that you never seen before. So that's the one thing. First one, the first, you can say recipe, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the first one is this, and the second one is, as I mentioned again, that we have been talking that why we are doing the lean as an organization and what are the purpose. So we want to create organizations and the community which is purpose driven, right? So we want to find the reason why we are doing the lean. So that's the second part of that. So the third recipe I think is very, very critical, is we have to involve the leadership, and leadership involvement in this continuous improvement journey is a very, very, very critical. And I again saying what very, very, very critical. And I'm saying that the involvement is not the delegation, because if you delegate lean to somebody else will do for you, we are not gonna get there. So leadership involvement is doesn't mean the delegation. Involvement means hands-on involvement, participating in lean, and believe in lean. So that's a crucial part. And when I do the leadership part of that, and I think leadership part is very important in lean journey. And when I lead the projects and I go through the project phases, I feel that, I want to develop some skill I call like push leadership versus pull leadership. You know what I mean? So versus like when you create a pull leadership, the problems, the opportunities are coming out of your shop floor, and they're signaling you as a pull that we got a problem, we got opportunities here to improve, right? So, but if you create that environment of pull leadership, then you create a followers of change. So when you create a followers of change, it's a matter of like, my favorite one is like the leadership principle is from John Maxwell, is now people follow you because they want to. Before, people follow you because they have to. So we want to shift that people are following me because they have to people are following me because they want to.
Yeah.
So this is the things we have to really deeply understanding about that. And we always, and the leaderships and the management teams in an organization should always listen to the voice of Gamba, right? I said listen to the voice of Gamba. What is that telling us? So and I think this is something that I can share from I learned from my continuous improvement journey. And the other things is, people always think continuous improvement is, we have lean, we have Six Sigmas and all these things, and we gotta do these, pool, we gotta do Kanban, we gotta do like SMED, we gotta do go for 5S, we gotta do value stream mapping, all these things, right? It's not about the tools. It's not about the tools. It's about the right tools at the right time. And also it's about the philosophy behind that. So people think, tools, we have toolbox and we gotta go with the toolbox and apply the tools in the shop floor and magic will happen. But this is not the reality. Magic will happen only you have the right philosophy and you apply the right tools on the right time. So I think the timing is also important. I have go through a lot of the blogs and the articles and videos and conferences, events, and all these things, and people talk about like tools and the right tools, and I go back and stand and I see, isn't that the timing is also important, the right timing? So I think it is important. So that's I can share. The other things I want to see, and I wanna believe in that understanding the people physics is also important. So I call it people physics, because you want to create a momentum, you want to get to the velocity and create a momentum and create excitement, and make the all continuous improvement pretty simple and create more engagement and always show respect to the people. So that people physics is really the driving force behind every successful projects and go on,
Yeah.
right?
People physics. I love it. People physics. I never
Yep.
heard that. That's so good. That's so
Yep.
good. Sounds like something a LAI gold rat would say, from the goal.
Yeah, so we gotta create that people physics, and we gotta understand people physics, and we gotta know how to create the momentum, right? So you got velocity, you gotta create the velocity, you gotta be very passionate about that, and you gotta be able to create the momentum to do successful projects and lean journey.
Yeah.
The other things is pretty interesting. So I think I learn it, and I think is my self-reflection kind of thing, is continuous improvement doesn't mean only lean. Because people think lean is continuous improvement. We gotta go with lean. That's the way to go. I stand back with that idea and take a fresh look. And I think the continuous improvement doesn't mean only lean. It depends on what business values, what value you want to create, and what does it take to create the values, right? It might be lean. In some cases, you have to go through back and apply the theory of constraint. In some cases, it's a blending of theory of constraints, Six Sigma, lean, or in some cases, you just don't need anything. You just do it, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's the open-minded approach, I guess, rather than sticking to one philosophy of continuous improvement. Continuous improvement is a more larger situation than just lean. So that's my understanding and my lesson.
Yeah.
And there are a couple of lessons I want to share. I think this is more in line with the people physics. Is always take the time to celebrate success or failures. Because I think even I learned that when I do the projects and I do the brainstorming, I do the countermeasure phases, we go ahead and in the plan shop we apply the countermeasures to reduce the changeover times. All this happens, and after that everybody's like, oh, what to go? And I don't know. I'm going to back to my older project work, so I'm going to do work. No, I take the time to celebrate that success so that everybody understand that what we have done so far, and it creates a footprint of the project in their mind. That we celebrate that. That means it's really something good.
Yeah,
and they're happy about that. They go to home thinking about, we did something very well today.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So which is really important, that you wanna as a project leader, as a lean practitioners, I want my team go to the home every day with a happy mind.
Yeah.
Right. So that's my case. And the other thing is, it is very important to celebrate failures too. Because I think this is more important to celebrate failures too. Because if you celebrate the failures, you're gonna learn better and better every day. I think I'm all for that. And I'm trying to celebrate failures in my company right now. You know what I mean? Like, if we fail in somewhere, we can celebrate and say, hey, why we are failing, right?
Yeah.
And what are the things we can do? So, we did something. Okay, that's not the way it should be. Okay, we have to go back and figure it out what to do. But if you do that in a celebration way, that will give your team members a better feelings about, no, they don't do something wrong.
Well, yeah,
it
drives out fear, right? Like drive out fear of the organization, Deming, right?
Yes.
And I think it's also appropriate to thank people for having the courage to try something that was maybe on the edge, and they probably weren't sure if it was going to work, but they still followed through because we learned from that, right? So, celebrate and thank people for having the courage to try things, right?
Yes.
No,
yes,
I think that's great.
That is, I think, very important. Well, that's
Yeah.
kind of like in a nutshell what I have
Yeah.
learned so far.
Hey, so the last thing that I want to ask you here in this section, MD, and then I got a couple reflection questions I want to ask you, and it's going to sound like this is a sales pitch for our program and all that, but what I'm more curious to ask you is I'm going to send this link out to everyone that's currently in our green belt, black belt, master black belt program right now. And I want them to listen to this. And I want you to really maybe speak to those people and maybe give them some advice, some tips for maybe some things that you learned from your experience going through this same program.
Okay. So I think what I have learned with the Gamba Academy certification program is I think is a very realistic approach for coaching and mentoring. The goal is to develop the real world problem solvers. And I like the ideas of Lean, Six Sigma, DMAIC, and PDCA. Don't be stick to that process always and think that, oh, this is my Bible. Mm-hmm. No, because this is the fluid approach and the fluid dynamics approach we gotta have to go through that journey and figure it out. What is the philosophy best suited for our situation, for our cases, and how we gonna approach that? How we gonna engage people in the journey? How we gonna develop our people to be a real world problem solver? I think in that perspectives, Gamba Academy's certification program has a lot to offer. And the other things I want to mention is not something like I'm just going forward. Ron, you don't suck. You are excellent mentor.
Thank you.
So, you are an excellent mentor, and I enjoyed our conversations. When we go through the project phases and even the launching phases, even after that, right? So, this is great. And the other thing is like I wanna just be really realistic, right? No one is perfect in the world, right?
Yep.
So Gamba Academy is not perfect. You can claim the Gamba Academy is not perfect, but I would say that Gamba Academy has the Kaizen mindset.
Yeah.
To go forward and make improvement for the future.
Yeah.
So,
well, just so everybody knows, you may not want to say it, but I'll say it. MD at the very end, he sends me another report, and I was, what the hell is this? It's another report, and I open it up, and it's all the things that Gamba Academy can improve. I'm like, my gosh, I love this guy. So thank you for that. I've already sent it off. We started working on it. I mean, how cool is that? One of your customers who's happy comes back and says, here's how you can be even better. So thank you.
Yes, and I think we always think out of the box and always see, no, we are not in a saturation limit. We will always have room for the improvement, you know. So I think this is the most important learning from my whole journey.
Yeah.
And the other things is I really like you guys the Gamba live videos. I think this is of great values because I can literally go to the Gamba live videos and watch something in the health industry is working. They're trying to do that, and with all videos and all the interviews and events, I think this is really good. And this is the things that has a lot to offer to the lean and continuous improvement community. Yeah.
No, we're really proud of the Gamba Academy Live. This is, like you said, you can go travel to Indianapolis and go to a hospital or go see Paul at FastCap or whatever, Yep. So, yeah, good stuff. Well, hey, listen, time's getting away from us. So I definitely want to ask you a couple questions here on the reflection section. I guess the first one I want to ask you is, where do you see this whole movement of continuous improvement going? Let's say in the world, right? Not just in the West, but in the entire world. Where do you think this movement is going?
I think it's going. I would say it's going slow, but it's going in the right direction. That the more time we're getting, and the more time we're having. Everybody involved in this process, they are getting that, and then people are motivated by good lean examples. But I want to tell you that oftentimes we are misled by something like called fake lean, right? So
Yeah.
some so oftentimes we are misled by the fake leans that distracted us. Say, hey, oh no, this is not good, right? This is not the way we wanna go. Okay, go back to the zero phase, right? So this is something very important. We want to identify what is good and what is a bad approach to do the continuous improvement. So that's very important. Otherwise, I think with the technological immersion, day by day we are having like AIs, we're DeepMind, we're getting through the wireless technologies, we're getting through the wearable technologies. So all these integrations with the lean philosophy will drive the world for a better future. And the more we are getting that, and the more we can share, which is important, that sometimes we forget to share, right? So like I do my projects, I did a great job, then that's all. This project goes to my document folder and I forget about that, right? But all these important findings and the opportunities we have to share across the board. I think we have to share across the countries and across the different societies and different communities. Say, hey, here is our finding. What's your finding, and how do you learn from you guys, and how do you guys can learn from us? So all these things go forward and create a better movement for the world, for a better future. I guess lean and continuous improvement is the right philosophy to do that.
Yeah. Hey, what's the best advice you've ever received in your life?
Oh, I think that's from my dad. Oh my God, that's that's in the childhood.
Okay.
So what my dad used to do is always, I think this is what he was doing is a SMED. Okay, so let's put it that way. Okay, so when he always go to office in the morning. My father was a bank manager, so he was going to in the morning every day. So wake up, he gets his all clothes, shoes and everything's like lined up, perfect for ready to go, right? So he always tells me that always keep your tools and everything's prepared the night before you go to somewhere, right? So I remember that, and I always try to do that. So when I relate that philosophy and that telling and to my projects, I said, oh, that's actually SMED, right? Because you are getting like internal setup reduction to external,
yes,
right?
Yes.
So that you are ready to go. You have your all bells, watch, you have your pants and clothes and shoes ready, rock and roll, you go. So I think that's something best advice I get.
What I love about you, MD? Every time I talk to you over the years, I'm smiling half the time I'm talking to you. So it doesn't make me smile, man. You make me happy. So, hey, last question. What are you most proud of as it relates to this whole journey of continuous improvement that you've been on?
I think the most important things are, or the things I'm proud of is I can build a relationship with the people having no idea what is lean about, but still trusting about the philosophy and aligned with the visions. I feel this is something that integrates me all the time. Say, hey, my team members, I can create that momentum. I can go with them and having without any knowledge about what is continuous improvement, what is lean about, they're still doing that. And I'm working as a catalyst to do that, and which makes me so proud that, oh, there's some movement going on, there's some viscosity, there's some turbulent flow going on inside that I'm very proud of, and that's the things I'm very proud of, Ron.
Oh, yep. So good, so good. Well, MD, it's been great. I knew it was going to be an awesome podcast, so thanks for coming on. I know it's you're busy, so really appreciate that. Let's go ahead and wrap things up. MD, with maybe you telling everyone just some final words of wisdom, and be sure to tell folks how they can best connect with you, maybe LinkedIn, something like that.
Okay, so yeah, I think to the community, lean community, and the continuous community of the world, my word of wisdom is going to be: we have to be the culture change agent. So we have to be the culture change agent to create more value for the organizations we are working on, to create a best business growth and serve community and the world for a better future.
Yes. And what's the best way to connect with you?
Oh, sure. Everybody can connect with me via LinkedIn. So I think you already have my LinkedIn profiles.
Yeah.
You can post it in the Gamba Academy website, and they can search me around LinkedIn with MD Rakibul Hasan, and
Go ahead and spell it out just in case people are only listening right now.
Oh, okay. So there's going to be MD Rakibul Hasan. Yep.
Okay.
So they can find me.
Yeah, and we'll link to this in the show notes. So this will be episode 330. So gembapodcast.com. Look for episode 330. We'll link to MD. And thank you again, MD. It was great to, I'm not going to quit recruiting you to come into our Master Black Belt program because you're ready. So I'm putting the pressure on you in a public podcast. So, No, but
we'll talk about that, and we'll think that how much value you can create. Right?
Yes. No, okay. Hey, we'll do our best. But no, thank you again, MD. It's so fun to talk to you. Keep up the great work. Definitely stay in touch with me and let me know when you get this SMED down by 70-80% from the original current state.
Oh, sure.
All right.
Sure. It's been a very pleasure to work with you, Ron, and Gamba Academy. I want to thank you, everybody from the Gamba Academies, who are working from the backstage and make these all great podcasts and everything's, and who are the backbone of force, right? So they are the driving force. I want to thank you, everybody from Gamba Academy.
I'm the one that most people see and hear, but you're right. I mean, by far, I am not the most important one. The whole team is what's making this happen. So thank you. All right, my friend, I'm sure we'll talk again soon. Keep up the great work and have a great day.
All right, thank you, Ron.
Bye-bye. Thanks for listening to the Gamba Academy podcast. Now, we invite you to take a no-strings-attached, fully functional test drive of GambaAcademy.com. Gain immediate access to more than 1,000 Lean and Six Sigma learning resources, all free of charge, at GambaAcademy.com.